Good morning kids. Hello everyone. So students, today we are going to continue with the same chapter of science, that is chapter 2, and the name of the chapter is Digestion and the Role of Microbes. We have been studying this chapter. In the first part I taught you about the teeth. We studied about the teeth, the different types of teeth. Yes or no? Because the first process of digestion takes inside our mouth. Okay, and teeth is the very important part of our mouth. Okay, we studied about the different types of teeth and how can we take care of our teeth. Okay, and now in the second part of this chapter we will study about the digestive system and the digestive organs that takes place in the process of digestion. Okay, what are the different organs of the digestive system that helps in the process of digestion? We are going to study about that. Okay, so let us begin with the contents. What are we going to study in this part 2? Let us see the contents of this part. Okay, so students, today we will start with the digestive system. Okay, we will start with the digestive system and the digestive organs. What are the digestive organs that are involved in the process of digestion? Understood? We will study about that. Then how the process of digestion begins. What are the different process of digestion in our body and how does these organs help in the process of digestion? What are the functions of the different organs through which the digestion takes place in our body? The food that we eat, how does it get digested in our body and how the digestive organs helps in the process of digestion of the food in our body. Okay, we will study about this and what are the healthy eating habits. Okay, how can we improve our eating habits? Okay, so let us begin with the digestive system. So students, now let us begin with the digestive system. Okay, let me read out what is written in the slide. Digestion in our body takes place in a number of steps. Several internal organs of our body help in the digestion of food. These organs together make up our digestive system. Okay, it is written that the process of digestion first begins in our mouth. Okay, there are different steps of digestion. There are different steps for the process of digestion. Okay, but the first step of digestion begins in our mouth. How? Because the food that we eat, we need to chew. Yes or no? And for chewing the food, teeth play a very important role. The tongue and the teeth and the saliva in our mouth plays a very important role. Okay, and there are different internal organs that are involved in the process of digestion. Internal organs means the organs, the body parts, the organs that you have inside your body. Okay, the different organs that you have inside your body, those are internal organs. Okay, and the different internal organs have different functions in the process of digestion. Okay, and all these internal organs that helps in the process of digestion together make up the digestive system. These organs which helps in the process of digestion together are called as digestive system. Okay, these are together called as digestive system. Then the hollow organs that make up the gastrointestinal tract include the mouth, esophagus, stomach, liver, small intestine, large intestine that contains rectum and anus. Okay, the hollow organ means the organ that is inside your body make up the gastrointestinal tract. Gastrointestinal tract means the tract that is digestion. Okay, the organs, the digestive organs are also called as gastrointestinal tract. Okay, it is gastrointestinal tract. And what are the gastrointestinal organs? Those are, it starts with the mouth. Okay, then comes the esophagus. O-E-S-O-P-H-A-G-U-S, esophagus, or you can also call this as food pipe. It is situated here in the neck portion, the food pipe, the esophagus. Okay, then comes the stomach. Okay, then liver, then small intestine and large intestine that contains rectum and anus. So what are the organs of our gastrointestinal tract? Those are mouth, esophagus, or you can also call it as food pipe, through which the food passes inside our stomach. Okay, then comes the stomach, then liver, then small intestine, large intestine, and in large intestine there are two more organs, that is rectum and anus. Okay, so these are the organs inside our body that plays the that helps us in the process of digestion, that helps the process of digestion. Okay, the food that we eat, these are the organs through which the food gets digested in our body. Understood? So students, can you see the picture of the digestive system? The first is mouth. Okay, then comes the salivary glands. What are salivary glands? The watery substance that you have inside your mouth, that is called as saliva. The watery substance that you have inside your mouth, what is it? It is called as saliva, and these saliva are secreted by the salivary gland. Understood? These saliva are secreted from the salivary gland that is situated in your neck portion. Okay, in your mouth, inside your mouth. Understood? Then comes the esophagus. Esophagus means the food pipe through which the food passes into the stomach. The food that you eat, it passes through the food pipe into the stomach. That food pipe is also called as esophagus. E-S-O-P-H-A-G-U-S, or you can also spell it O-E-S-O-P-H-A-G-U-S, esophagus. Okay, then comes the stomach. Can you see the sac-like structure? It is called as stomach. Then liver. Okay, then comes the gallbladder. Gallbladder, can you see the greenish part, small greenish, a small bag-like structure, green one, that is gallbladder inside your stomach. Then there is pancreas. Okay, below the gallbladder lies the pancreas. Okay, then comes the small intestine. Okay, then the large intestine. Then comes the rectum. Can you see which one is the rectum? It is written there. After small intestine, it is written rectum. And then comes the anus, through where the food material that is not needed in our body gets excreted from the anus. That means it comes out from our body through the anus. And then there is appendix. Appendix is a small organ inside our body which does not have any function in our body. Okay, appendix does not have any function in our body. Understood? But it helps, but in animals it helps in the process of digestion. In human body, appendix does not have any function, but in animals it helps in the process of digestion. Okay, so these are the organs inside our body which helps in the process of digestion, and these organs together form as digestive system. Understood? And these all organs together form as a digestive system. Understood? So students, now let us begin with the process of digestion. Okay? So what is digestion, students? What do you mean by digestion? Digestion means the process by which the food is broken down into simpler form so that it can easily be taken in or absorbed by the body is called digestion. Okay? What is digestion? Digestion is the process by which the food that we eat is broken down into smaller and simpler form. It is broken down into smaller pieces or simpler form. Okay, so that it can be easily taken inside our body or it can be absorbed by our body. Okay, that is called as digestion. Okay, the food that you eat, can you swallow it directly inside your stomach without chewing or without breaking down into small pieces? Can you eat it all together? We cannot eat it all together, right? So digestion is the process where the food that we eat are broken down into smaller pieces or into simpler form. Okay, so that it can be easily taken or absorbed by our body, and this process is called as digestion. Understood? Then the various organs that work together and help in the process of digestion forms the digestive system. Now what is digestive system? I have already told you now. Digestive system means the organs inside our body that helps in the process of digestion together forms as digestive system. The organs that helps in the process of digestion, which is inside our body, together forms as digestive system. Okay? Then the different organs that performs the process of digestion are. What are the different organs that performs the process of digestion? Those are mouth, esophagus or food pipe you can say, then stomach, liver, small intestine, large intestine and anus. Okay, these are the main organs that performs the process of digestion. Understood? So students, now let us start with the mouth. Okay? Because the first process of digestion starts inside our mouth. Yes or no? The food that we eat, where do we take it first? We take it into our mouth. Then we chew it. Yes or no? We grind the food particles with the help of our teeth. I already told you the 4 sets of teeth performs different function. Yes or no? What were the 4 teeth? Incisors, canines, premolars, molars. The incisors bite the food, the canine tear the food, the molars and premolars grind the food and chew the food. Yes or no? The food that we eat, first we have to chew it and break down into smaller pieces inside our mouth. And that food gets mixed with the saliva. Saliva is the watery substance inside our mouth. That is called as saliva. The food that we eat get mixed up with the saliva inside our mouth, which helps in the easy swallow of the food so that the food can be easily swallowed inside. Okay? You cannot swallow the food, dry food inside. Yes or no? The saliva get mixed with the food so that it helps in the easy swallowing of the food inside the body. Okay, see it is written there. The process of digestion starts in the mouth. The first process of digestion, it starts where? It starts inside our mouth. Okay. Then here the food is broken down by biting and chewing. I already told you the food that we eat, we bite the food and we chew it properly so that it gets broken down into small pieces. Okay. The chewed food mixes with a liquid called saliva. The watery liquid inside your mouth. The food that we chew, it mixes with the saliva. by the salivary gland. And from where these saliva are excreted? These are secreted from the salivary gland. Okay. The saliva inside our mouth is secreted from the salivary gland, into which the food that we chew get mixed up, so that it helps in the easy swallowing of the food. Understood? So this is the first process of digestion inside our mouth. This is the function of the mouth. The food that we eat, we chew it inside our mouth, and then the food, it gets mixed with the saliva. Saliva is the watery substance that is present in our mouth, which is secreted by the salivary gland. Okay? Then this saliva, the food that is mixed with the saliva, helps in easy swallowing. That means the food that we eat, it is easy swallowed inside our body. Okay? Which helps in digestion. So this is the first process of digestion inside our mouth. Understood? Then now students comes the esophagus or the food pipe. Can you see the picture? Esophagus or the food pipe. Okay. The food that we have chewed and we have swallowed, how does it pass? It passes through the food pipe inside our body. Okay, the food pipe inside our body. The food that we eat, it passes through the food pipe inside our body. Okay, food passes from the mouth through this thin tube called esophagus or food pipe. The food that is chewed inside the mouth passes through this thin tube. Okay, this thin tube, the food passes from this thin tube and reaches to the stomach. The food that we chew, it passes through the food pipe and it reaches to the stomach due to internal vibration. Okay, there is some kind of vibration going on inside our body. When we eat, we don't feel it, but there are some vibration that keeps on going inside our body. Okay, due to some internal vibration, this food that we eat passes through the food pipe into the stomach. Can you see the picture of the food pipe? The food that we eat passes through the esophagus into the stomach. Understood? Now students, comes the stomach. Our another organ is stomach. Okay. Now what happens inside the stomach? Stomach is a sac-like muscular organ located on the left side of the upper abdomen. Okay, what is stomach? Stomach is a sac-like muscular organ. It is not a bony organ. It is a muscular organ made of muscles. Okay. It is a muscular organ, and where it is situated on the upper abdomen, on the left side of the upper abdomen, on the left side, in your upper abdomen, not down, not downwards, below the chest. Okay, below the chest, on the left side lies your stomach, which is a sac-like structure, a sac-like muscular organ. Okay, can you see it is a sac-like? Sac-like means something that can contain something inside. Yes or no? The food that we eat, it passes through the food pipe and gets stored into the stomach. And there what happens? The food that we eat, it reaches the stomach where the food is further broken down. The food that we eat is further broken down into small pieces inside the stomach. Okay, the food that we chew, when it passes through the food pipe into the stomach, it is further broken down into the stomach. Understood? Can you see the picture of stomach? It is a sac-like structure and it is located in the left side of the upper abdomen. That means below your chest. Okay. And the food that we eat that passes through the food pipe gets stored into the stomach, where the food is further broken down into small pieces. Understood? So now students, comes the small intestine, the another organ that helps in the process of digestion. It is small intestine. Okay. Now food from the stomach passes into the small intestine. Okay. The food that is broken down into the stomach into smaller pieces, it passes into the small intestine now. Can you see in the picture? This is the small intestine. Okay, it passes into the small intestine. And what happens in the small intestine? What happens to the food in the small intestine? Here all the useful nutrients are absorbed by the blood and taken to all parts of the body. The food that we eat contains nutrients, yes or no? Different kinds of nutrients. And the food, when it passes from stomach to small intestine, all the nutrients are absorbed by the blood. The blood in our body absorbs all the nutrients from the small intestine, and if it takes the blood that flows into the body, it takes all the nutrients in the different parts of our body. Okay, the nutrients from the food are taken by the blood into different parts of the body. Understood? In the small intestine, the food that we eat, the nutrition that the food contains that we eat, all the nutrients are absorbed by the blood in the small intestine. And later on, the blood carries the nutrients in all parts of the body, because blood keeps on flowing in all the parts of the body. Yes or no? That is why the blood carries all the nutrients to the different parts of the body from the small intestine. Understood? The small intestine has three parts. Okay. Small intestine has got three parts. The first part is called as duodenum. It is duodenum. D-U-O-D-E-N-U-M. Duodenum. Can you see the picture? You can recognize which one is duodenum. The upper portion is called as duodenum, the pipe. The small intestine that begins through the stomach, that the first portion, it is called as duodenum. Okay. The jejunum in the middle, and the middle portion is called as jejunum. Okay. The portion that is in the middle of the small intestine, that is called as jejunum. J-E-J-U-N-U-M. Jejunum. Okay, and the ileum in the end, and the small intestine where it ends, it is called as ileum. I-L-E-U-M. Ileum. Okay, so the small intestine have got three parts, that is duodenum on the upper, the jejunum in the middle, and the ileum at the bottom, that is end of the small intestine. Understood? So students, now our next organ is liver. Okay. Can you see the picture of the liver? In the slide, it is dark maroon color, that is the liver. So now students, how does this liver help in the process of digestion? What is the function of this liver? Okay. The liver has many functions, but its main function with the digestive system is to process the nutrients absorbed from the small intestine. Okay, this liver has many functions in our body, but its main functions with the digestive system. In the process of digestion, its main function is to process the nutrients absorbed from the small intestine. Okay, it processes the nutrients that is absorbed from the small intestine. this liver produce the bile juice. Okay, this liver, bile juice from the liver secreted into the small intestine also plays an important role in digesting fat and some vitamins. Okay, this liver in our body produce a kind of juice, that is bile juice. Okay, and this bile juice helps in the digestion of some vitamins and some fats and vitamins in our body. Some fats and vitamins are not easily digested by our body. Okay, and this liver produces the bile juice that helps in the digestion of the fats and vitamins in our body. The food that we eat that contains fats and vitamins are not easily digested. It is digested when this liver produces the bile juice. The bile juice helps in the digestion of fats and vitamins easily inside our body. And this liver processes the nutrients that is absorbed from the small intestine in our body. This liver processes those nutrients. Okay, that means it carries the nutrients to all parts of the body. Okay, it supplies the nutrients to the all parts of the body. Okay, that is why you should always eat a proper food that keeps your liver healthy, because liver plays a very important role in the process of digestion. Understood? So this is the function of liver in our body. It produces a bile juice that helps in the digestion of fats and vitamins from the food that we eat. Okay? So students, now our next organ is large intestine. First we studied about the small intestine, yes or no? Now we will study about the large intestine. Now what is the function of this large intestine in the process of digestion? Large intestine is a tubular organ. Tubular organ means it is a tube-like organ. Can you see? It is a tube-like organ. Yes or no? You can make out from the picture what kind of organ it is. It is a tube-like organ. That is why it is called as tubular organ. Okay? Which absorb unabsorbed rare nutrients and water from the digested food for recirculation. It holds the food that cannot be digested, absorbs water from it and forms waste and feces. Okay, the food, the part of the food that cannot be digested is moved to the large intestine. Okay, from the small intestine, the part of the food that is digested and the nutrients that is absorbed from the food in the small intestine is carried by the blood to the body. Yes or no? All the nutrients are carried by the blood to the body. And the remaining food, the remaining unabsorbed food, the food that is not absorbed, the nutrients from the food that is not absorbed in the small intestine, it passes into the large intestine. Okay, the food that is not absorbed by our food, it passes into the large intestine. Okay, where the rare nutrients, some nutrients that is not absorbed in the small intestine, it is absorbed in the large intestine. The rare nutrients and the waters get absorbed and it is also recirculated. That means the nutrients is again passed into our body. Okay, that means recirculated from the large intestine, and the remaining food, the remaining nutrients that is not digested from our body, it passes into the large intestine, where the food, it holds the food that is not digested, the fiber. Okay, the dietary fiber, the food that we eat, the dietary fibers that are not completely digested, it moves to the large intestine where it holds the food, and from that it absorbs the water. It absorbs the water from that food and which is recirculated again in our body. Okay, the body absorbs the water from that undigested food and the remaining undigested food moves from the large intestine, okay, which forms waste called as feces, and it forms waste in the form of feces. Okay, feces is the waste that forms in our body. Understood? The undigested food. The undigested food that forms waste is called as feces, and this feces is formed in the large intestine. Okay, the unabsorbed food, the unabsorbed nutrients are absorbed in the large intestine. Okay, and the unabsorbed food is passed from small intestine to the large intestine, where large intestine absorbs the rare nutrients of the food and the water and also recirculates that water into the body, and the remaining food that is not digested, it forms waste, and that waste is called as feces. F-A-E-C-E-S, feces. Understood? So now students, our next organ is anus. Okay, now what is the function of this anus? Feces are removed from the body through anus. The anus is the end of the gastrointestinal tract. When the rectum is full, your body feels the urge to have a bowel movement. The internal anal sphincter relaxes and pushes the stool from the rectum into the anal canal. What does it mean? Anus is the last organ of the digestive system. Okay. The feces that is formed in the large intestine, the feces, the undigested food, the undigested nutrients that is formed in the large intestine, it passes through the rectum. Okay, you can see in the picture, it passes from the large intestine to the rectum, where these feces are excreted from the body in the form of stool. The feces is excreted from the body in the form of stool from the anus. Okay, when your body feels the urge to have a bowel movement, that means when your body feels that it cannot keep more food in your body, you have the urge of going to toilet or not. That is the bowel movement. Okay, when your body has no space to keep that undigested food, okay, then our body feels the urge of the bowel movement. Bowel movement means you feel the urge to go to the toilet. Okay, and these feces, the undigested food, is excreted from our body in the form of stool from the anus. Okay, the internal sphincter, the rectum, the large intestine, it contracts and it releases. Okay, when the food is not digested, it contracts, and then you feel the urge of going to toilet, and then when the undigested food is excreted, it relaxes. Okay, and this food is passed from large intestine to the rectum into the anal canal, from which the undigested food is excreted from our body in the form of stool. Understood? So this is the process of digestion. This is how digestion occurs in our body. Understood? So let us revise once from the beginning. First, the first process of digestion starts in the mouth. The food that we eat, we chew the food in our mouth, and then the chewed food breaks down into small pieces which is mixed with the saliva, the watery substance in our mouth, and it get mixed with the saliva that is secreted from the salivary gland, which helps in easy swallowing of the food. Then the food that we swallow passes from the food pipe to the stomach. Okay, the swallowed food moves from the food pipes to the stomach, and in the stomach the food is further broken down into smaller pieces. Okay, in the stomach the food is further broken down into the smaller pieces. Then the food from the stomach passes the small intestine, where the nutrients of the food is absorbed by the blood, and the blood carries all the nutrients into our body from the small intestine. Okay, the blood absorbs the nutrients of the food from the small intestine and it carries in our body. Okay, then the liver secretes the bile juice. Okay, that the liver secretes the bile juice that digests the fats and vitamins from the food into our body, and it also absorbs, and it also helps in the process of absorption of nutrients into the body. Okay, it also helps in the process of absorption. It processes the absorption into our body so that the nutrients of the food can be absorbed. Okay, and this liver produce a bile juice through which some fats and some vitamins get digested. Okay, then the food from the small intestine passes to the large intestine. Okay, where the unabsorbed rare nutrients and water are absorbed, and again it is sent for recirculation. The water absorbed is again recirculated by our body. That means the water is again transferred into our body from the large intestine. And then the undigested food is stored in the large intestine in the form of feces. The food that cannot be digested, it forms waste in the form which is called as feces in the large intestine. Okay, and then when these feces are removed from the body through this anus, the food that is not digested from our body, it gets excreted from our body from the anus. Okay, so this is the process of digestion. This is how the food in our body get digested through the different parts of the organs inside our body. In the higher classes, you will come to know more briefly and more clearly about the process of digestion. But this one I have taught you in the simplest way how the food is digested. Okay, in the higher classes you will get to know more briefly. Okay, now let us move to the healthy eating habits. What are the healthy eating habits? So students, we must always have a healthy eating habit or not? We should always eat healthy to keep our body fit and healthy. Yes or no? So healthy eating habits are very important for a good health. To maintain a good health, to keep our body fit and healthy, we must also follow some healthy habits. So see students, what are the healthy habits that you should follow while eating? First one, chew the food well and do not swallow it whole. Okay, the food that we eat, we must chew it properly so that it gets broken down into small pieces and it can be digested into our body easily. Okay, you should not swallow the food whole. That means without chewing, you should not swallow the food. Okay, then the second point is eat fruits and vegetables every day. We must always eat fruits and vegetables every day. Why? Because these fruits and vegetables provides our body with minerals and vitamins as well as dietary fiber. The vitamins and minerals that are needed by our body is produced by the fruits and vegetables we eat, and fruits and vegetables also provide us with dietary fiber that removes the waste from our body. Yes or no? Dietary fiber removes the waste from our body. Okay. Then always wash your hands before and after meals. We must always wash our hands before and after meal. Before having food, we must wash our hands, and also after having food. Okay. Then rinse your mouth well after meals. We must always wash our mouth properly. Okay, after meal. Then always try to eat a balanced diet. We must always eat a balanced diet, a diet which contains all the nutrients in good amount. Okay, like carbohydrate, protein, fat, mineral, vitamins, dietary fiber, everything that includes. We must always eat a balanced diet. Okay, then always eat clean, fresh and well cooked food. We must always eat clean, fresh and well cooked food. The food that we eat should be very well cooked, because if we eat raw food, the digestion of the food will not take place properly, and then we will have some upset stomach, pain in our stomach. Okay, so we must always eat clean, fresh and well cooked food. Okay, so students, this was all about digestion, and now in the part 3 of the same chapter we will study about the microbes. That will be your last part. Okay, about the microbes, the microorganisms. What are the functions of the microorganisms in our body, and how does it help in the process of digestion? Okay, so this was all about digestion. I will give you some questions. You please practice it at home. Okay. So students, the first question is, what is digestion? What do you mean by digestion? Okay, the answer is in the first slide. You will find in the first slide the process by which the food is broken down into simpler form so that it can be easily taken in or absorbed by the body is called digestion. Okay, the first question is, what do you mean by digestion? Then our second question is, what is a digestive system? What is a digestive system? Okay. Then our third question is, what are the different organs of a digestive system? What are the different organs of a digestive system? Okay. Then what is the function of liver in our body? What is the function of liver in our body? Okay. So this is the 4 question. You please practice at home. Try to do it by yourself. Okay. And please go through the slide once again. Understood? In the next class, I will start with microbes. That will be your third part of this chapter. Understood? Till then, you take care of yourself and study well at home. Okay. See you again, students.